So now that we have the specifications automated, so now we know what the behavior of the assertions should exhibit. Now we're going to actually test drive this thing, okay? Some people call this unit testing. I don't know if that's the best word for this, but the idea is that the developer is going to write tests for the code. So what we're going to do is write assertions that we assert that the code that we're about to write is going to do certain things. And with those assertions, we're going to actually run the assertions. It's going to fail because we still haven't written any code yet. We've written requirements that are all going to be automated, behavior-driven development. Now we're going to write assertions about how the code should behave, and then we're going to write the code. So there's actually 3 levels of automation that we're going to apply here. We're going to run it in our IDE, where it's going to come up red because the code doesn't exist. Then we're going to write the code, and we're going to make it pass. And then we're going to refactor the code, and we're going to continue to do that until we've met all of the acceptance criteria has all passed. So the radius has happened, the number of data elements being returned has happened. So we're going to gradually increase and refactor the code to do that. By doing this in very incremental fashion, we're also doing a simple and evolutionary design. We're incrementally improving the product, but we're doing it in very, very small increments, okay? And we're going to show you a video to kind of illustrate this, because conceptually it's hard to understand. So we specify what we're going to do. This acceptance test-driven development, we use a pattern called Gherkin. We're going to write test scripts to do this. Then we're going to develop and start writing the code and writing the unit tests. And eventually everything's going to turn green, right? The tests are going to validate that the requirements are meeting the code is delivering right back, and we're getting the business value we desire. So we're really automating how we actually specify and test, to the point where if we actually wanted to delete code, we could. So if we want to take a behavior out of the system and say, okay, I don't want the search agents to do this, we would change the specifications. The specifications would allow us to actually change the unit test, and that would allow us to actually delete code. So if we went in and we actually had to delete code out of the system, we're going to know that we didn't break any other specifications. And that's the goal in this, because most legacy systems, you continue to add code until you get bloat, and you're afraid to delete code because you aren't sure what specifications will break. So you leave that code into the system, and you never lighten the system up. So this allows you to stay lean. It allows you to safely delete things and know that by removing code because we changed the business requirements does not break the system. We're not decimating the system. So again, I'm going to show you an example of this because it's hard to describe with pictures.